Do you remember the days when we used to have analog TV before digital TV? Then this picture must be very familiar. Back in the days, we used to have an antenna on top of our big chunk of TV, and you know how hard it is to find the perfect picture quality. By chance, if you don't remember any of this, then surely you must be very young. Are you aware that we are in an era of fully digital TV? Don't be surprised if within the next few years, we don't even need to have a set of TV at home. As the world are also entering an era where everything is accessible on the internet. It's quite amazing that we're able to witness how rapid our transmission technology have evolved over time. The big question is, when and how does it happen? Let's dive deep into the timeline. The switchover process is being accomplished on different schedules in different countries. In some countries, it is being implemented in stages, as in Australia, India, or Mexico, where each region has a separate day to switch off. In others, the whole country switches on one date, such as the Netherlands, on 3rd August of 2003. Meanwhile, for Malaysia, September 2019, followed by North and East of Malaysia on 14 October 2019, and full digital transition was to be completed on 31st October 2019. Completely terminate analog TV in Sabah and Sarawak. This marks the end of analog television broadcast in Malaysia, with the country also becomes the third country in the Asian region to shut down analog TV broadcast after Brunei and Singapore, which have closed their analog TV broadcast completely and broadcast digital TV on 31st 2017 and 1st of January 2019. Here's a recording clip of Malaysians' analog TV shutting down. But have you ever curious why these transitions were made? Why digital TV? For that question, we need to understand the concept of both analog and digital TV. Analog television transmits programming in a continuous signal. This signal varies in amplitude, depending on the information contained in the picture. It's kind of how music was transcribed onto vinyl records. The television signal goes up and down depending on what's being broadcast. This analog signal is transmitted on a particular radio frequency, from the television station's transmitting antenna over the air to the receiving antenna connected to your TV set. Each television station is assigned a particular frequency that corresponds to a channel number. When you tune your TV to a given channel, you're actually choosing to receive transmissions on that particular frequency. On the other hand, digital TV is far more advanced than the older analog technology. Unlike analog television, which uses a continuously variable signal, a digital broadcast converts the programming into a stream of binary on and off bits, which is a sequence of zeros and ones. This is the same way that computers store information in data files. Each bit represents a small part of the picture, and all the bits combine to reproduce the original picture. So, primary advantage of digital broadcasting over analog is that these binary bits can be recombined to reproduce an exact copy of the original material. The picture and sound received from the digital transmission are always identical to the original source. Even better, over-the-air digital signals does not weaken over distance, as analog signals do. As long as the signal can be received, the picture is perfect with no degradation or ghosting, because digital signals are composed of binary bits. A 1 is always a 1, and a 0 is always a 0. There is no fuzziness or snow in the picture, no ghosts caused by interferences. By now, we can already understand that digital is a more efficient technology. Digital transmission requires less bandwidth than does a similar analog broadcast. This lets local television stations broadcast 2, 3, or even 4 digital channels in the space of a single analog channel. This multicasting technology means you will receive more variety in programming from your local stations. all delivered with superior digital quality. And yet, there is still people who complain that there's not much channels to watch after switching between 1,000 channels. So, we can see how technology evolved to where we are right now. Comparing what we have today with analog TV back then, we can spot a lot of improvement. This is the reason why technological advancement must never be rejected in any way. We have seen the downside of analog TV. Sending analog signals over broadcast stations to each house was a problem at the time. It might not always exactly reproduce the original programming. It can easily deteriorate over long distances. And it can also suffer interference from other sources, producing ghost images, static and snow. This lack of technology typically resulting in a lower quality picture produced than the original. The picture isn't quite as sharp, the background is sometimes grainy, and the sound suffers from noise and a reduced frequency response. Now, being in the era and able to witness how technology have evolved over history was a proud and exciting moment. But what if there is an alternate universe where a human never find digital technology? Would we still use analog TV in our daily lives? If so, how can we get to know current world news? Will countries keep it conservative and force the citizens to depend on controlled media? How does it affect each country politically? Will there be a continuation of propaganda which leads to more world war? To be honest, it doesn't actually sound like a bizarre idea, since most states in North Korea still use an analog TV. Or what if we found digital technology before the First World War? What would it be in that situation? Will it then alter the course of human history? How do we survive in both situations?